Alright, so I've pretty much just watched my first video back and realised how boring that would be to watch. So I apologise, but I guess we do have to start somewhere. Pretty much, I don't really know where to start, so I'm going to start talking about when I started training. I would say I was probably around 15 years old, and I'm 25 now. Now, my training wasn't like how it is now. I wasn't in the gym 7 days a week back when I was 15 years old, but I did have a few weights in the garage, which my dad had collected over the years. There was a television also in the garage, and back in the day when I was a kid, my parents pretty much had a household rule that there was no television during the weekdays because we were meant to be focusing on our studies, etc., etc. But if I was down in the gym training, my dad would allow me to watch television. So I guess it kind of started. I would go down and watch The Simpsons at night at 6 p.m. on weeknights, and I would pick up weights and I would almost pretend to do some things. But yeah, after being down there a little bit and realizing that I kind of enjoyed doing that, I'd be down there a couple of days, a couple of afternoons a week, watching The Simpsons and picking up some very light weights, and looking up videos on YouTube or following bodybuilders and seeing what they did to sort of build their bodies. And I would try and mimic and copy them. And obviously when you're 15 years old and you weigh 40 kilos and you have an orange for breakfast and 2 Tim Tams for morning tea and a ham sandwich for lunch, you're not gonna grow to be a specimen within a couple of weeks like I thought I would. But yeah, pretty much I started my garage when I was 15 years old. When I was 16, I got my first fake ID, and it wasn't actually to go out and drink with my friends or get into bars or clubs or casinos. I actually got a fake ID so I could train with my older brother, who was 6 years older than me, and he trained at a leagues club that had a gym, but you needed to be 18 not only to attend the leagues club but to train in the gym for some reason. And so yeah, I got a fake ID made by a friend at school, and I signed up to this leagues club. Yeah, as I said, not to have beers or to use the pokies, but to train with my brother. And so at the end of every day of school, I would catch the bus to this leagues club. I would slip out of my school clothes into my training gear, and I would jump in there and do something for 60 to 90 minutes every afternoon. I didn't know what I was doing, but I tried and I watched people, and I learned over time, a lot of trial and error. Obviously, I was training with someone that was 6 years older than me, my older brother, who had well and truly gone through puberty and had big muscles, and was a little bit of a motivator for me. But I knew that consistency over time would pretty much allow me to be there and do the same. And I don't know if you guys can see that there, but I think that's probably because I started training when I was 16 years old, and I put on a lot of weight really quickly. Not good weight. I went from being a 60 kilo skinny dude to a 100 and I think my highest I got was 108 kilos. So I put on about 48 kilos over the space of 3 years. As I said, not good weight at all. Like, I was weight training, but I had no idea about food, nutrition, what I should and shouldn't be consuming. So pretty much, I guess everyone's heard the term bulking. I assumed that bulking meant that if I was lifting weights a couple of days a week, I could pretty much do whatever I wanted in terms of food, and I could, take a couple of sandwiches to school, drink litres and litres of chocolate milk, at the end of the day have a packet of Tim Tams, still eat my mum's dinners, go out to dinner with friends, eat burgers, chips, whatever I wanted, lollies, and not really worry because I was bulking. And so if I had a big belly or, I was sluggish and slow, it didn't matter because I was bulking. But I soon realised that when my outside life started to deteriorate in other things that I enjoyed doing, like I was playing soccer at the time and basketball, and I was starting to realise that as I put on this weight, I was becoming slower on the field, obviously, and balls that I would normally get to before people in soccer, I was losing those challenges, and me managing to beat someone in basketball or be quicker than them or more agile just wasn't happening anymore because I was, you know, 20, 30, 40 kilos heavier, and my body didn't really know how to cope with this weight. And so that's essentially what happened, and that's what I have to show for it, is that I have all these scars all over my body, which probably people don't know about. And yeah, I guess that's, credit to putting on a lot of weight in a short amount of time and my body not being able to cope with that growth at a young age. And me essentially stretching and now trimming back down. I don't really get stretch marks anymore because obviously I'm sort of within my means. But yeah, as a kid, I, not knowing what I was doing and kind of, learning as I go, got a bit lost and, did things wrong. So it'd be nice to go back now and start again at the age of 16 and take care of, sort of what I ate and when I trained and go back and have the knowledge that I had. Obviously it would be easier, but at the same time, you live and learn, and, I appreciate the journey that I've gone through over the past 10 years within this sport or industry to get to where I am. And yeah, I guess what I could really tell you guys, or the best tip I could give you, is that, these things take time. Whether you want to get fitter, whether you want to get stronger, whether you want to get bigger, whether you want to lose weight, put on weight, it's all a matter of being consistent over a long period of time. These things don't happen overnight. It took me 3 years to put on a lot of weight, and then it took me, it's taken me the next 7 years to sort of tweak everything, whether it's my training or my food or my lifestyle, my sport, to sort of get to where I am now, which I'm still not happy with where I am, because that's part and parcel of this industry, is that once you sort of start manipulating your body composition and, trying to chase your ideal look, or whatever you want to call it, is that you'll never really truly be satisfied with where you get to. And that's sort of, it's a blessing and a curse within the industry, because you're blessed by the want, I guess, the internal motivation to keep pushing, but then you're cursed with never truly being satisfied with where you are or how you look per se, which is probably not the best thing, and that's probably one of the negatives of the industry. But when it comes to an industry that preys on people's insecurities and doubt, to sort of be happy and content along the way with your journey and what you've achieved, is, kind of sticking it to the industry. So keep that in mind and celebrate the little wins, whether that's, getting to the gym 3 days a week when, last week you got there twice, or, looking after your food for 5 out of 7 days a week and having 2 days to relax, or, only drinking 2 nights a week instead of one. Celebrate the little wins and stick it to the industry. But as I said, you need to start somewhere, and the big boys that you see at the gym, or the guys that are lifting weights, you couldn't even fathom. We've all been there, and I remember I used to watch my brother lift weights and I couldn't even make them budge, and now I move those weights that I used to be in awe about 10 years ago, and I can move them for 3 times the amount that he could move them back then. And so just be patient and know that, in time, if you put in the work and you're consistent, then the results will come. And it's a very fun sort of industry to be a part of and learn, and it's nice because it's, for me, I love it because I love the idea of constantly progressing and growing, and that's not physically, but that's also mentally or spiritually and physically, of course. But it's a nice industry that allows you to continuously do that, which is the same as why people like studying and people like, you know, gaining knowledge, is because it's always about constantly progressing. And yeah, it's an industry that, you know, it kind of leaves it up to you, because no one else does the work for you. No one else can eat the food for you. No one else can, you know, train for you or sacrifice certain things for you or say no to things for you, have the willpower. It's all up to you, and it's nice to, yeah, to watch your mind and your body work and grow as you do and as you learn. But yeah, for those people asking about my nutrition and my training, I'll probably get into that at a later video, because looking at the time now, I've just literally spoken for 10 minutes, which I didn't even think was possible. But hear ye. But yeah, guys, I guess that's me. Sign off, and I've given you a little start to how I sort of started in the industry, or started my training, and you know what's allowed me to get to where I am today, 10 years later. But yeah, I guess I'll talk to you a little bit more about my journey, my childhood, where I started, my sport, everything, next time we speak. So thank you for watching my first video. I'm really sorry that it's, you know, in bed and it's boring, and you know, it's just me talking to the camera. But yeah, as I said, please do leave a comment of constructive criticism, or what you liked or didn't like, because, you know, I want to hear that so I can make things better for you guys. So please do. But yeah, it's a pleasure, and thank you for taking the time to listen to my videos. I really do appreciate it, and I do appreciate all the support. As I said, it's now, I started the video at 2, it's now 2:12. Monday morning, the 26th of March, and I hope you guys have a lovely week. And yeah, just remember, get out there and start. If you haven't started, if you have, put in that little bit of extra work that you do this week than you did last week, and just know that it's about chipping away slowly, every week, every month, every year. So slow progress is still progress. Thanks for listening, guys. I appreciate it, and have a lovely week.